Hi, this is Abul Hussein coming to you live and direct from London, the United Kingdom. And today I have a very special guest joining me from Jacksonville in the USA. Now, before I introduce him, if you are watching this interview outside of our Facebook group for social media marketing agencies, make sure you join in by clicking on the link or going to smmamastermind.com. So without a further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Danny Monzon, who is an automation specialist, a bit of a ninja when it comes to messenger bots. So let's head over to him. And Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Abdul. Greetings from Florida.
Thank you very much for joining me, because I know it's 9 a.m. down there. Now, for those of the viewers who don't know who you are, why don't you give us a bit of a background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am an automation specialist. I build automation systems that revolve around chat automation on Facebook Messenger. So as the space has evolved and as some tools and systems have evolved, we've been able to do some amazing things, integrating chat with e-commerce. We're integrating some of these elements for the brick and mortar businesses now, automating some of their processes that they have been doing manually for many, many years. And now through recent market changes, they've been motivated, to say the least, to adopt some digital experiences for their customers. So we're doing things for the online world, but also we're doing things for the brick and mortar business owners.
Oh, that's perfect. So you've given a kind of a high level overview of what we've done. And when I came across you, I mean, it was through one case study that really stuck out, which was how you helped like a DJ, I believe, sell out his whole tour or something. What did you tell us a little bit more about, who this person is and what you did for them? And because the result is totally amazing.
Yes, so I'm a member of a lot of different groups inside of Facebook, very niche groups, and I learn by participating in these groups, and I also provide value. So when people are facing some challenges, and if I can help them solve them, I answer some questions. So people have reached out to me from different countries. I also speak Spanish, but it was interesting because I was a club promoter back in New York City some 20 years ago, and so music has been always a big part of me. And there was this guy in the UK, so he's a DJ, and he said that he needed some help. So it was a day like today, a morning like today, I was sipping my coffee, and I got on a Zoom just like this one, and we were reviewing his strategy and what he wanted to do. So he shared his screen, and I was very interested in what he was doing because he wanted to sell tickets to his social distancing festival in the UK. That's supposed to happen, I think, in August this month, if I'm not mistaken. So I found that very interesting, outside of the box. I think I've heard of this DJ before, and I checked him out on SoundCloud. I liked his style. So we tweaked some things. He had already built, some foundation, but we tweaked some things for user experience. And he wanted to sell his tickets during his live stream that he was scheduled to have just in a few hours. So we tweaked for user experience and compliance to make sure that what he wanted to do was done properly, right? Following the rules. And so we did that. Later on that evening, he texted me, he said, "Hey, it worked. We sold out every level of tickets we had available, sold out." And he sent me a screenshot. And, that is, the short story on Mark Plum. So go check him out on SoundCloud. And if he still has tickets, maybe for some reason, I don't know, maybe he's going to have a different festival, but go support him.
That's quite awesome, that you've been able to deliver such a great result to such a short deadline, Now, a lot of people, when they think about automation and they think about messenger bots and they think about all of these things, it's a bit beyond them because they're normal brick and mortar business owners. They're not very tech savvy. So for a normal business owner who might be running like a plumbing shop or a plumbing business or some other service-based business, what does good automation look like in their worlds?
Yeah, so great question. I am a marketing geek, and when I go to speak to someone about automation, I learned the hard way that people don't understand the word automation or bots, or they might have a misunderstanding of what a bot is, right? Some people might think a bot is something that's intrusive, something that's going to rob your identity. I don't know. People have all these misconceptions. So when I talk to someone who I believe hasn't had an experience with automation, which is likely to be, I don't talk to many plumbers, for instance, but maybe a restaurant owner. I speak to restaurant owners, and I go and I order food. So sometimes that conversation comes about, like, you know, if I don't see a way that I can place an order online and pay online, I'm probably going to go to the next guy, right? There's plenty of them. So there's a need right now. There's a need. The entire marketplace is shifting, right? It's not just my locality. It's not just in the UK. It's worldwide, first of all. So there's a need. And now brick and mortar businesses are more attentive to our messaging, right? Now, what we were providing maybe a year ago wasn't so important for a restaurant or for a barbershop or for, you know, a nail salon to adopt, because they've been doing things for generations, you know, the traditional way, right? But it was those people who maybe saw that there was something to learn and something to apply. Those are the people who maybe are ahead of the curve right now. So it's my responsibility to translate, so to speak, what my services, my products and systems provide to these business owners in the way that they care about, in the way that they understand it. So what I learned is these two things, that brick and mortar businesses only care about two things. They don't care about click-through rates. They don't care about, you know, geo, you know, based notifications. They don't care about all that. They don't understand it. They care about two things: how you're gonna make me more money and how you're gonna save me time. That's it. Those two things, right? So when I introduce some of our systems in a comprehensive manner, and I don't try to give them a $5,000 setup on the first time, but rather something that they can invest in the first month or 2 months, and then with my data-driven reporting, I say, hey, look what's happening. Let's turn it up a notch. And then there's more budget, there's more, you know, sales being, you know, made online and offline. And then 90 days, hey, look what's happening. Let's turn it up a notch. So gradually taking that client by the hand and showing them what's possible through digital.
That's awesome. Taking them on a journey, really. A lot of people think of automation and all of that, and they think automation is out there to replace jobs because they think of, you know, robots flipping burgers in McDonald's or something like that. You know, is that the case in the digital world? Do people who are doing a lot of admin tasks as part of their job need to be worried about automation?
Well, here's the thing. If it's not automation, it's something else that's going to maybe replace I wouldn't say a job. I would say it's going to free up time. So it all depends on how you want to look at it, right? So if you're saying, oh, it's going to replace a job, well, what's going to happen to that person who was performing that job? And that person can learn something more technical, more remotely, more, you know, I mean, if you're not learning how to replace, if I'm not learning how I can replace my job, then I don't know what I'm doing here, right? So it all depends on how you look at it. We're not trying to replace the income that comes into somebody's family, you know, by, you know, copying and pasting something, right? Sure. If we are making life easier for a business owner, I'm hoping that that business owner is also paying it forward. And, you know, in this time of need, you know, right now, it's not about, you know, you believe in something, I believe in something, or you look like X and I look like Y. And, you know, right now it's like we're in the middle of a crisis that, whether it's amplified or not by the media, it's real. And we need to act accordingly. You know, marketers are always solving a need, right? So we are in the middle of a thin line. If you want to look at the crisis, hey, you can stay looking at the crisis, but we rather look at the solutions on how we can, for instance, help not just the DJ, but we just finished the month of July. You know, it was so satisfying to run reports for brick and mortar businesses and see how our systems are bringing them thousands and thousands of dollars online, right? That they didn't have before. So it's proven, and I believe that if I'm not making results for someone, I don't deserve to call them my client.
Yeah, that sounds about. I think you're being as honest as possible here, and thank you for your transparency. So, like the mechanics of how it all works, if we were to pop the hood into what an integration or what a flow looks like, what are the common tasks that you set up as part of a project?
Yeah, so some of the things that we look into when taking on a project that seems to be intricate, and when I say intricate, it means that there are a lot of elements involved that need to be connected, right? So you said it, underneath taking a look under the hood of the car, right? So visually speaking, I speak with those comparisons and metaphors. So when we look under the hood of a car, you have different components, right? So in digital, in automation, we have the same thing. We have the element that gathers data, distributes the data. We as human, we analyze the data, and we take action upon that data. So we're constantly tweaking things, and just like a mechanic, we pay attention to what's squeaking, or we synchronize, the engine and the transmission, so everything is working seamlessly, right? Just like a mechanic, we never provide something and say, hey, here you go, good luck with it, see you later. We always establish the expectation that what we're providing is going to dramatically convert and affect those KPIs that you care about. And obviously, with the right research, we make that promise, right? And so the integrations are basically what connects the transmission to the engine, right? All those components. So digitally speaking, we need to know that the elements are compatible, right? That the APIs are open, right? Or that we need to call on to the developer team to build some custom digital bridges that allows us for these elements to work seamlessly, and to have a user experience that is not clunky, that is not invasive, that is relevant. In a way, we're enhancing that human experience through bots, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, people love to obviously hear examples of how these things work in practice. I mean, what would you say has been the most satisfying or the most kind of, rewarding project that you have worked on?
Okay, so there's been a few. Let's see. There's been a few, depends on which language you ask me. But most recently, we work with a company, a software, ManyChat, that is our nucleus of our automation. And automation revolves around chat, right? So it was quite rewarding. A couple of months ago, when the head developer, the head engineer in Moscow scheduled a Zoom with our team because they wanted to know what we're doing to integrate Shopify in a manner that they haven't done yet. So so that was really cool, because I started building chatbots in summer 2017. So little did I know that the software that I was exploring, I was using, that has evolved so much, and that's right now dominating the chat automation world, one of the founders, the head engineer, was going to schedule a Zoom with me and our developers, asking us for feedback. And you know, actually, we're in the team that tests some of the things before they actually release them. So so that experience has been quite rewarding.
Yeah, great. Now, you touched on ManyChat and or ManyChat. Many people who will be watching this video must have, you know, would have come across ManyChat, and you know, as the only kind of chatbot solution out there. And the kind of setups they have seen would have been like an ad, and then you click on an ad, it goes to Messenger, and there's a chat going on that captures your email and all of that. And then people are building like a subscriber lists on using a bot. Now, I mean, I know quite a few people are saying, you know, those subscriber lists get a higher rate of opens and all of that. I mean, do you also focus on kind of bot marketing in that way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So a bot, a chat bot, to be specific, a chat bot could have so many different functions, right? We use chat bots internally here at the office, right? And we also use them for every step of the funnel: top of funnel, middle funnel, you know, closing the sale, and post sale, right? So within social, and here's where strategy comes about, and the psychology behind social selling, right? Because marketers get seduced around the topic of automation, right? They get so excited, and rightfully so. But sometimes they tend to take away the social outside of selling. They want to take away the social outside of automation. And guess what? At the end of this device, at the end of the screen, there's a human being still, right? With fears, with ambitions, with broken dreams, with so many different triggers that they're not applying. So to answer your questions, and I'm getting there, we teach that social selling has fundamentals. And those fundamentals are attention, right? Getting the attention first and foremost. You got to get attention. Then second is conversation, right? Got to have a conversation with someone after getting the attention, right? Then come the conversions, right? Attention, conversations, conversions, then retention, right? Have them come back. Have them come back with a friend, right? So in all those 4 steps, we're using chatbots. We're using chatbots to get attention. We're using chatbots to have conversations that are personalized, but at scale, right? We're using chatbots to close sales and follow up, creating loyalty programs that are tailor-made, personalized, that are gamified. We're using gamification to have the virality. So the psychology behind building a chatbot is not just, you know, it's not just a technical thing, you know, how to connect things and make it look pretty on paper or on screen, so to speak, but actually having the functionality or the simplicity to, you know, to have a desired outcome, you know, on the person that is using it.
And for those of us who are in the marketing world, the digital marketing world, you know, those who are familiar with ClickFunnels and all of these other tools out there, right? Some people feel that, you know, chatbot marketing might be fatiguing slightly because of how widely it is used by quite a few top digital marketers. Do you think that is still the case, where messages are not kind of being delivered in people's inboxes, and normal users, normal customers are getting kind of slightly fed up with kind of, you know, chatbot messages?
No, I beg to differ. So the open rates across emails are at an all-time low, right? If I believe last time I checked, it was under 20 if you're lucky, and that also is included all these transactional emails that you have to pay attention to. So not really marketing emails. So probably under 16% across the board. Chat marketing, if done right, when done properly, it's not invasive. right? It has asked for the right permission. It has connected the brand with the human, with not just with the mind, but with the heart, you know, through humor, through compassion, through customer service, through follow-ups, through not being invasive, through, you know, following the rules and giving them people an option to leave the conversation, right? So when you do that, and yes, people are sometimes going to be non-responsive. Well, guess what? They're not your tribe, right? The non-responsive people, we take note of every action, every intention through our system. So we know, okay, this person doesn't want to get in touch through Messenger, but if we send them an email every so often, that person is attentive to that. And so we're seeing that. So we pay close attention to customer journey, right? Some people find it, you know, too repetitive and they opt out, and that's great. You know, we are, you know, very keen to compliance. So as far as being oversaturated, no, I think that if I could share, or maybe you know, some real data, you'll see that that it's on the up and up, right? Chat marketing, there are more people in chat apps than on social apps, right? And it's not oversaturated. We're seeing a lot of leaders that we are thinking about approaching, because and this is in, you know, mutual groups, that they're not using any automation. You know, these are leaders who are selling books without automation. These are leaders who are having $1 million days without chat automation. They have other types of crazy, robust systems, yes, and teams. But I've checked their chat, and they're still behind the curve. Rightfully so. Facebook is also changing some rules and parameters, right? Like I said, overexcited marketers just, you know, blasted a lot of things that were, you know, out of compliance. Facebook got, you know, tired of that. And of course, we had last year, or I don't know when it was, a few years ago, actually, that Facebook has been scrutinized about, you know, handling data and that sort of thing. So they have also, you know, they have also not forced, but they've also enhanced the way marketers reach out to their customers, the way marketers use their creativity to maintain engagement with their audience in a compliant manner. So I think it's still wide open. There's still a lot of people, you know, depending on what city or what country you are. For instance, in Latin America, the things that we've been exposed for a couple of years in Latin America, because I have exposure to that market, it's some things that are like brand new, and you know, businesses there, you know, consume content differently, and so there's a lot of opportunity. The platform is evolving every so often, and it's definitely a space to keep your eyes on.
Awesome. Well, Danny, you've been quite generous with your time. If somebody wants to find out more about chatbots, how to get started with chatbots, or more about what you do, where should they go?
Yeah, well, either go to my page, dannymonzon.com/bio, or go to manychat.com. That is the chat automation platform that I prefer and that I fully recommend.
Okay, perfect. Well, Danny, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Abdul. Thanks for having me. Have a good one. Until next time.